Welcome to the second season of The Foundation. I'm your host, Cortez Bryant, and today we're streaming live to celebrate Howard University exclusively here on the BlackStream Live. Listen, before I came on air, literally as soon as I posted the clip to promote tonight's show on Instagram, I received a lot of calls from friends that graduated from HU who were letting me know about the unrest that was going on campus. I definitely didn't want to come in here tonight and be insensitive to the plight of the students and what they're going through. I definitely believe in protests. History has shown us that protest is sometimes necessary in order to move forward and to create change. Even within Howard's history, as I've learned as I was preparing for this show, that their history was built upon and have great people who led sit-ins and civil rights leaderships and throughout the tenure of Howard University. So I know they definitely understand the effectiveness of protests. So with that being said, you know, I pray that everything gets resolved with everything that's going on, and Howard moves forward as a university, as a community, as an alumni base, to remain pushing forward their excellence that they've exuded over 150 years. Tonight is going to be about celebration of that history, because that's very important. They've been a staple in the Black community, and that's what we want to tie into tonight as we talk through this whole program. So, that being said, The Foundation is a series that celebrates HBCU life and culture, created to meet the needs of educational Black Americans in the 21st century. HBCUs are known for their affordability, diversity, strong STEM programs, and celebration of Black history and culture. This season, I'll be streaming from a variety of celebrated HBCUs. The list ranges from tonight, HU, Virginia State University, Tuskegee, the women's college powerhouse Spelman College, and last but not least, North Carolina A&T University down in Greensboro. We're kicking off the fall edition of our show at one of the most famous HBCUs, Howard University, aka HU. Howard is a private research university comprised of 13 schools and colleges. Students can pursue studies in more than 120 areas, leading to undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees. The Colleges of Fine Arts has produced some of the most notable alumni. That include Debbie Allen, Stokely Carmichael, and Taraji P. Henson, just to name a few. Today, we're going to dig into Howard's history to learn how the school's guiding principles have helped the university evolve into a campus that encompasses more than 89 acres, including the 6-story 400-bed Howard University Hospital. After that, we're going to talk to Sankara Xasha Turé. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I hope when you get on here that I got that right. She is an alumnus from the Division of Fine Arts, and we're going to learn about her experience at the university and how highly celebrated entertainment and fine arts department is. If you streamed with us before, and this is the first time you've seen The Foundation, you got to know that we got to cover homecoming. You know, and Howard's homecoming includes Yard Fest, Greek life, tailgating, student activities, and alumni participation. Now, let me find out if Cookie Lyons is coming out to the cookout. But listen, lastly, we're also going to talk to Ron Smith. He's the executive director of Howard's Karsh STEM Scholars Program. He's going to shed some light on how HU is planting seeds of Black excellence in the future. This foundation program is sponsored and presented by Ford. Ford is showcasing advancements in tech and lifestyle with its new lineup of electric vehicles. Let's ride together towards an electrified future. Look, Howard University, a.k.a. the real HU, a.k.a. the hilltop, a.k.a. the Mecca, is too dope to be described by words alone. So take a look at this video clip and then tell me what you think in the comments.
Welcome to Howard University.
Listen, history is written by winners, and HU has no shortage of W's. Take a look at these highlights in Howard University's history so you can see why it's in the HBCU Hall of Fame.
I'm Monica Pearson with This Week in Black History. It was on this day in 1867 that one of the first historically black colleges and universities, Howard University, was established in Washington, D.C. The school was founded by members of the First Congregational Church in the nation's capital. At first, they were interested in forming a seminary to educate clergymen. Then they added a liberal arts track and named the institution after Civil War hero and commissioner of the Freedmen's Bureau, General Oliver Otis Howard. Howard University played a major role in the development of the Harlem Renaissance when faculty member and Rhodes Scholar Alan Locke published in 1925 his seminal anthology of black poetry, The New Negro. In the early years of the Civil Rights Movement, Howard students led sit-ins and picket lines that would be modeled across the country. Many of the greatest minds in African American politics and thought have come from Howard University, including Ralph Bunche, Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, Ambassador Andrew Young, and the late Representative Elijah Cummings, as well as artists such as Toni Morrison, Roberta Flack, Sean Puffy Combs, Taraji P. Henson, Chadwick Boseman, and Felicia Rashad. Now, Rashad's sister, Debbie Allen, based many of the stories in the series A Different World on her own experiences at Howard. Today, the university continues to carry the bold spirit of activism it's known for, with students using sit-ins and demonstrations to effect administration changes as recently as 2018.
Developing our knowledge of history means developing our knowledge of institutions that helped us get to where we are today. Howard University was founded over 150 years ago and given the mission of establishing a university for the education of youth in liberal arts and sciences. Having grown massively in size since its inception, HU has become a front runner amongst HBCUs in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The university also offers hundreds of student organizations that provide access to resources and professional relationships that last a lifetime. Let's talk to Howard University historian, Dr. Lopez Matthews, to better understand HU's rich history. Welcome to the show, Dr. Matthews.
Thank you for having me.
How's it going, man? Good evening, good evening.
It's going great.
That's what's
I'm
up.
glad to be here.
So to get started, man, can you tell us, how long you've been at the university and what exactly is your role as a historian?
So I always say it's tricky when I count my time at Howard because I was a student there.
Okay.
And so I've been sort of in the Howard ecosystem for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
I started as a student in 2004, worked at Moreland Spingarn Research Center where I work now. As a student employee, left, went to the National Archives, then returned to Moreland as an archivist in 2013. And then I became the digital production librarian in 2014. And in that position, I digitized the historic records in the Moreland Spingarn Research Center, which happens to be one of the largest repositories of materials on African Americans in the world.
In the world?
In the world.
Wow. Wow, man, y'all doing a lot of great things over there. And as I was, doing my research and getting ready for the show, I was finding out about, truth, racial healing, and the transformational movement. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what's going on?
So the U.S. Truth, Racial Healing, and Reconciliation Movement is a group of people that came together to try to work to get the United States to accept its racial past, to accept that America has been racist, that it has treated minorities very poorly throughout its history, and saying that in order for us to move forward, we have to accept our past, understand our past, and then work to reconcile the divisions caused by our history. And so that's what the U.S. Truth, Racial Healing, and Reconciliation Movement is about. And that's why I'm happy to be an advisor to this group.
It's so astounding that we have to really have organizations. We have to build these organizations to tell this country that, yo, by the way, there were slaves and you were racist. It's like mind blowing, man.
Well, when you know American history, it's not surprising because American history has been full of myth making.
Correct.
Ever since the revolution, it's been myth making.
Correct.
And so what we're trying to do is stop that cycle of myth making and say, no, let's live in our truth. Let's understand that bad things did happen, but we can move forward and we can move beyond it. We just have to accept it and reconcile.
That it happened, right. And so within, so since its inception, what work has the group done to work towards that healing in our community and giving information, you know, and showing the U.S. government what they've really done?
So one of the major pushes of the group right now is to create a U.S. Commission on Racial Healing and Reconciliation so that we can take a national look at what's happened in our country in the past and recently, so that we can study it, put out a definitive report of it, and then say, okay, as a nation, how can we move forward to put forward recommendations?
Gotcha.
We've also started to build, or in its infancy, building an archive where you'll keep documents. Because sometimes people don't understand something happened unless you have a document.
Need to get those receipts. Yes.
Yeah,
keep
you
those
say, where are the receipts?
Yes.
Here it is right here, you know?
Right.
So, that's what we've done so far.
That's amazing work, brother. I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing the great work y'all do. So y'all work along with the U.S. government with this, or is this strictly in-house on campus with the organization?
So it's not necessarily through the government, but it has a lot of support from members of Congress.
I got you.
And they're trying to push the government to do something.
Got you.
So that's the role. We're trying to influence the government. We're trying to influence the politicians, the people
to do the right
with power to say, yeah, do the right thing and to really support this movement, because that's what it's going to take. We've seen just in the past 4 years the power of politicians in shaping the way people think.
Right.
And so if they're on board, that really does a lot to move things forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's amazing, man. So let me pivot. So you're an author.
I am.
Howard University and the World Wars, Men and Women Serving the Nation. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I wrote the book just to showcase how Howard, since its inception, has been a supporter of the Black community, but also a supporter of the nation. That it really is an example of the Black community. It was founded by Civil War generals. It was founded to create professionals for the Black community. That's why they started it as a university. And it has, since its inception, developed leaders for the African American community and for the global Black community.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, that's what Howard has always been. And so when I wrote the book, I focused on the ROTC and I focused on the members of the military who come from Howard.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of people don't know that Howard students worked and protested and fought and got the first officer training camp for Black soldiers at Fort Des Moines.
Wow.
In the 1910s. They had one of the first ROTC programs. And one of the things that military service meant to Black people historically was that they could show their patriotism and support of the United States. To say that although we are treated poorly, we still understand that this is our country, that our ancestors built this country.
Absolutely.
And that it's ours. And that, you know, we aren't just going to let, you know, we aren't going to let other people defend it. We are an integral part of this country. And that's really what I try to highlight.
That's amazing. That's a great angle because, those people are overshadowed. Living in Atlanta, you know the great civil rights leaders that graduated from Howard that had an impactful role, not only in the entire civil rights movement, but in the city of Atlanta and why it looks how it looks right now, So you hear about those things. So that take on, these military leaders and the RTC and those programs is amazing. I commend you on that in that aspect. Let me jump to the next question. So what HU traditions, right, are still alive today since the time you were on the yard? Like,
well, homecoming, of course, is the big thing every year. It's almost like a DC holiday, Howard homecoming. It almost shuts down the entire city,
right?
Because so many people come in just to celebrate Howard, to celebrate its history, celebrate its legacy,
right?
And I think it's amazing because you see people from all over the world come, and it's really just a example of just the impact of Howard.
Yeah, I mean, what you say you was there 01 to what years were you on the yard?
So I came to Howard in 2004.
I'm sorry, 4.
Finished in 09.
09. I'm trying to think where you. That might have been your senior year. I only been one time, right? I brought Drake to homecoming in the early days, and that was I don't know if you were there.
I heard about it.
Oh my God, it was pandemonium. I had never seen that many people before. At that time in my career, I had never seen that many people in one place. I think I was like 3-4 years in. That might have been 2010 though, if I can remember, so long ago now. But I brought him there while I was managing Drake at the time. And I swear, I never got to experience, the activities, but the concert on the yard y'all had, I was like, oh my God, all these people. I'd never seen that many people in my life, Black people in one place. So it was crazy.
Well, that's one of the great things about being at Howard. You see the entire mosaic of the Black community.
Yeah.
I mean, you see people from Africa, from the Caribbean, from Europe, from Canada, from the deep South, from the West, from the Midwest, from the North. You really see the diversity of the Black community when you come to a place like Howard. And I think it's just amazing to me to go there every day to see it.
That's dope. And speaking of, as you being there and was there undergrad, and now you're in this role as a historian at the Mecca, what is the role, from going from student to now being in this position you're in, what has it taught you most about the university?
So I was actually a grad student at Howard. I did undergrad at Coppin State, Baltimore, but I did grad school. But I was there for quite some time, getting my master's and my PhD.
Okay.
But I was still there every day because I worked there too. So it was like I lived at Howard.
Got you.
But one of the things that just still amazes me about being at Howard is just learning its role in history. Every day I learned something new about what Howard has contributed and what Howard students have done. We just got a scrapbook donated to us by an alum's daughter. He graduated in 1951, and he kept a record of everything that he did throughout his entire 4 years at Howard.
That's amazing.
And I'm just flipping through this book, looking at, he went to the White House, he participated in movements, and he was a part of Alpha Alpha fraternity, which I'm a part of. He went to dances, he went to parties, he documented the entirety of his Howard experience. And it was just so amazing to me just to flip through the pages and look at the dress and look at the students and read about his classes. And it's just,
that's amazing.
It just amazes me because there's so much to know. Like I learn something new almost every time I go to campus.
I'm a firm believer in that also, brother. So this is the last question. So Ford is committed to helping build a better world, right? Where every person is free to move and pursue their dreams. What are 3 key tools you have learned in life that propelled you closer to your dreams?
Live with truth, live with integrity, and don't make everything about money.
Hallelujah, man. Praise. There you go. That's a word right there. That is a word. And that's all I got for you tonight, brother. Thank you for coming on, Dr. Matthews. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right. The vision of Howard's Entertainment and Fine Arts Department is to offer a one-of-a-kind experience for students interested in all aspects of entertainment, from project greenlighting to entertainment law and finance. Watch the video to see how the program has produced some of Black Hollywood's top talent.
Howard University Division of Fine Arts has played a very important role in defining African American culture and speaking to who African Americans are, both here in the United States and in the world around us.
Howard was the house where I was able to dream and feel safe doing so, and knowing that I was getting the best training.
Howard University continues to produce excellence through the Division of Fine Arts by combining academic competency and professional training.
I had the benefit of a liberal arts education and fine arts training, because fine arts art is an applied art. This is applied education, okay? And that was fantastic.
Having recently named their College of Fine Arts after Chadwick Boseman, Howard University is a staple, a major staple amongst Black Hollywood. If you ever see DC native Taraji P. Henson, just yell out, "HU," and see what happens next. Seriously though, Howard has made several moves in recent years to try to make Hollywood more diverse. The mission of their art, music, and theater program is to prepare students to become multi-talented creators and thinkers with a deep knowledge and skill that spans multiple disciplines. And from the looks of their alumni, which include Vice President Kamala Harris, Toni Morrison, Anthony Anderson, Lala Anthony, Wendy Raquel Robinson, Laz Alonso, Lance Gross, my guy, Ryan Jamal Swain, and Nick Cannon. HU must be doing something right. And those are just the celebrities. The department is designed to diversify the entertainment industry by creating a pipeline for African American students and other marginalized populations to train alongside entertainment executives. Here to give us a look inside Howard's Fine Arts Department is celebrity designer Sankara Xasha Turé, Division of Fine Arts alumni. Did I pronounce your name right? First, that's where we're going to start, right there.
Yes, Sankara Xasha Turé.
Sankara Xasha Turé. Got it.
Yes, like a sun in a car.
Huh?
Yes, like a sun in a car.
Like a sun in a car. Okay, all right, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm grateful to have you tonight. And you graduated from this fine department, right? So being a fine arts alumna, how has, your experience at the university while you was there affect your career and pave the way for your success that you're seeing right now?
I think that Howard definitely taught me how to hustle more than anything.
Okay.
I always say that my journey was a little different than most students because I actually left school my junior year to pursue my career in New York, and then I went back and finished in 2015. Okay. So I received an opportunity from one of my professors who was a Broadway costume designer, and he got me onto Broadway, and he actually helped my career start in New York. So I kind of started my career in school, and then it kept going and growing you know, as the years went by.
That's amazing. Hustling what it's all about, especially in our industry, you know, the entertainment industry. You got to be able to hustle to succeed out here. So,
Yeah.
but that professor linked you, you know, that professor that was at Howard, right?
Yes.
So he built that bridge to help you get everything going. So that was Broadway, and you styled for Macy's, Sweetie, Cash Doll.
Yes.
Was your time at the school help you prepare in any way to be this stylist with these ideas and to make these people look wonderful?
Yes, so my professor's name was Reggie Ray. He was one of like a huge
Shout out Reggie
professor.
Ray. Okay.
Yes, he was also taught Taraji P. Henson. He also taught Chadwick Boseman. So
wow.
One of the second Broadway shows that I did, Chadwick was supposed to be the lead on the show. It was Holler If You Hear Me on Broadway.
Wow.
But at the same time, he had got casted in the Jackie Robinson movie. So I got a chance to meet him, you know, in that process and in that acting process. I also styled for Felicia Rashad, who was also a Howard alumni, and also, you know, now the dean of this College of Fine Arts. So, you know, everything just comes full circle. It always aligns. My first Broadway show was with Felicia Rashad's daughter, Condola Rashad.
Wow.
I had one of my first clients, and then one day she calls me and she's like, hey, my mom's about to call you. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. And then
yeah, that's legendary right there.
Yeah, so it always comes full circle for sure.
So that network is strong and tight. That's
yes.
amazing. And I know Howard has, from the people I know, that they've definitely been known for fashionable students, right? And
yes.
Does the university make space for creatives while you were there? Did you feel like, you know, it gave you room to be a creative and to grow?
For sure. Well, when I attended Howard, it was a fashion show every day. Like we were walking in heels and up the hills in our heels, like
really?
On the yard during the day. Every day it was who could dress the best every day.
Wow.
Who stepped outside, so you could never get caught slipping. And I was a dance major my freshman year, so after I would literally go to dance class with rollers in my hair so that by the time I got out of dance class, I could just take my hair down and still be ready for the day.
So you're telling me you was killing it on the yard when you were there?
Yeah, you know, that's where my start was. That was for sure my start.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of that time, what was one of your best memories? Tell me one of your best memories while you were there.
Howard just was always amazing. I remember I heard you speak about the Drake situation. I was there front row that
you were
time.
There?
Yes, I was there. That was 2011.
It was 11. That's right. Okay, yeah. There we go. Yeah. There we go. I was trying to figure it out.
That was one of my favorite times. Honestly, is going back now and like to homecoming, like the last homecoming that we had, I styled Sweetie for the homecoming. So that, you know, it all just kind of goes full circle.
Full circle.
You know, just to come back and relive it. One of my first shows back was with Cash Doll. I didn't even know that she was going to be performing at Howard. So that was like a full circle moment. So I always love to see it now as a reflection of the body of work that I've been doing.
So these clients has gone right back to the Mecca where it all started for you. That's amazing. Yeah. So you was there in 2011, right?
Yes.
Was I not tripping? Was that energy not retarded out there? I had never seen that. It's like still one of the most craziest moments. I've been in the music business 17 years. I've seen a lot of concerts, a lot of festivals, but I tell everybody at that time, and Drake was like, you know, I think that was his coming to Jesus moment because he had never performed in front of that many people at that time of his career at all, you know?
Yeah.
So we left that stage so geeked and so crazy. I didn't know what to expect. I heard about it. I was like, yo, but you were there in the audience as a student. So
yeah, and literally 5 minutes after, I think T.I. came on, or he brought T.I. out or something, and then 5 minutes it rained so hard, and everybody was like a tsunami, and everybody went running. It was like the most amazing time, and I would do it all over again.
Wow, that's just crazy. Okay.
Yes.
Oh man, what else? Where am I going next? Okay, let's talk about paying it forward, right? What advice can you lend a student who's looking to be in a creative field, but unsure about attending college to pursue to pursue it, and should they be interested in styling? If they are interested in styling, would you recommend them Howard, and what advice would you give to them?
I definitely would. I would say that, like, especially now in my career, a lot of people that attended Howard are now become, like, the people that I walk the yard with are becoming stars or are living in their dreams as well. So, like, one of my best friends is Jae Murphy. So anytime he has an event, he's calling me, so it's just always connected. And I think the network alone is in the name, like, so many times, like, one time I was in the studio with Luke James, and I was like, his musical director was like, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like, no, you don't know me from somewhere. And so he's like, no, I know you. What school did you go to? And I'm like, Howard. And he's like, yeah, me too. You know what I mean? So just the name just alone just goes a long way. And the network, there was a point where Howard wasn't trying to let me back into school. And that was the same time I was styling Felicia Rashad, and she sat on the board of directors, and she was like, if you have any problem, I'm going to keep my phone. I'm going to make a phone call.
Okay.
I'm going to keep my phone on. And if you have any problem,
okay.
Exactly. And I got in there. They had told me a no for like almost 2 weeks. Wow. And I got in there.
The power of the network.
So, it's very strong.
That's amazing. So the last thing I got for you, all right, Ford, who's presenting the show, is committed to helping build a better world where every person is free to move and pursue their dreams. What are 3 key tools you have learned in life that propelled you closer to your dreams?
Number 1 is pray and move your feet. Number 2 would be you could do whatever you want to do.
Fact.
And number 3 is never accept no for an answer.
There we go.
Somebody go over anyone. Somebody is always going to tell you yes.
Oh, she loved pulling them strings. Wait, first she said she had Felicia Rashad on the line. She was like, you could always go over someone. I see how you roll. I see how you roll. I ain't getting on your bad side. Listen.
Yes. It is always a way.
I hear you. I believe that too. So, Sankara, I appreciate you coming on tonight. It was definitely great. Thank you, and you have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
No problem. Oh, man. For almost 100 years, Howard Homecoming has been one of the richest cultural and social traditions in America for Black professionals. You just heard Sankara talking about that. And it's not just for Howard alum. A lot of people visit Howard's Homecoming. Every year, over 100,000 alumni, students, special guests, and visitors take over the city to enjoy many events and attractions affiliated with the festive week. Now, in a rare case that you have no idea what HU's Homecoming is all about, check out this clip so you can get caught up.
When I hear the word forward, I think of outreach and development.
Howard Forward means progress. We only get better.
Forward to me means reformation of Howard culture and advancement in the future.
Howard Forward is innovation and excellence, not only for Howard students, but the community at large.
Howard Forward means going above and beyond our achievements.
We are all here together building our talents, building our skills, and we're using them to change the world.
Howard's Homecoming is a sacred event to thousands of students, alumni, and supporters. While events change from year to year, some of the staple events stay the same. From the game, the step shows, the yard fest, a bar crawl, a masquerade ball, and much more. Beyond being a time to let loose, homecoming celebrations are unapologetically Black and attract some of the biggest names in music and entertainment. Here to explain how one of the most popular HBCU homecomings comes together is my guy, Jae Murphy, Howard University alumni, DJ, executive music producer, songwriter, and actor. Welcome, Jae Murphy. What's up, bro?
What's going on, bro?
See you in a minute, man. How you doing, dog?
Yeah, man. You know, we always pass each other at the right time. Look, we pass each other right now.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So, bro, I'm trying to remember if I knew you went to Howard. All the times.
I think one of the last two conversations we had, when we really I think that was one of the last things that you learned. You had no idea.
No clue.
And I don't know if it was somebody else that was at an event wherever we were. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I graduated from Howard. And he was like, where? I went to Jackson. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get over that homecoming this year hangover right now, bro.
I saw y'all went up.
Oh, man. It was crazy. That Deion energy, is something different. So, what years were you on the yard up there?
So I got to the yard fall 07 as a freshman. And I graduated May 2012.
Oh, so you was there for the Drake moment too.
Bro.
You was there too. He said, was I?
Chains brought him out, right?
Yeah.
On No Lie.
Yeah.
I was near the stage, but I wasn't backstage because I'm usually backstage.
Yeah.
And I heard the roar from over my shoulder. And I said, yep.
It was crazy,
because everybody was trying to figure out if he was going to come. I heard the pandemonium and I was like, yeah, it's over with.
Yeah, bro. That was insane, man. I told you, definitely one of the highlights of my career. You know, at that time I was just still a young manager. Wayne 3 years and Drake had just started. So, you know what I'm saying, in a year. So none of us had really performed in front of that many people. We hadn't got to the big festival level yet. You know, Wayne had got to the arena level, but I hadn't seen that many people, especially black people, in one place. I was like, yo, this is insane, you know?
Yeah.
I've been back. So, okay, Howard Homecoming is the staple, right, bro? What events that someone has to attend when they come to that week? Because I haven't been. That's my only experience, right? So I never experienced. I hear about it. All the time I've been was that one moment, and I was just in and out, literally. So I didn't get to hang out.
So the average homecoming week, to be completely honest, and this is why we are dubbed as the real HU, and we have, you know, one of the greatest homecomings to ever exist, not on earth, not G-Ho, but to ever exist.
Oh, God.
Every homecoming event is something you don't want to miss.
Oh,
you know,
God.
We have the pageant. That's where we usually crown Mr. and Miss Howard. We have Fashion Show 1, Fashion Show 2. We have a gospel concert. We have the Step Show. We have the world famous Yard Fest. We can go any direction that we want to go.
Right.
You know, it comes down to the homecoming steering committee that's ushered in by a little bit of faculty administration, but mainly students. Students, they literally are delegated a year in advance. So, like, people are literally planning Howard Homecoming for literally half a semester before the following semester.
That's crazy, son.
Even when I was on the yard, I actually had the opportunity, when I was really getting my feet wet in my major, broadcast journalism, I was a host on campus. So I hosted Yard Fest along with Howard alum Angie Ange, who is at Radio 1.
Yeah.
She's syndicated now. Yeah. But yeah, I've hosted Yard Fest, bro. I hosted the March Madness, not March Madness, Midnight Madness.
Yeah,
you know, in the gym. We have Word Day, you know, so I was very acclimated. As a student leader on campus, I was very acclimated with the student body and all of the social events. So I was at to say the least, I was at every single, you know, homecoming event.
I hear you. So is that where you got your DJ stuff? Were you DJing while you were on the yard too? And
you wanna know something crazy?
What's that? So don't tell me you want to DJ on the yard and now you travel the world. And one of the best DJs that I know, like, look, in the club that's why I say most of these conversations we had was probably over, well, for me, was probably over some, you know, libations. So I probably didn't remember that.
We was vibing. The crazy thing is, the Jae Murphy that you met as the DJ was just maybe 3 steps up from the Jae Murphy that was at Howard. Because when I was at Howard, I was strictly an MC. I was a host.
Wow.
I didn't just host the parties. Like I said, I hosted dance competitions. I hosted talent comedy showcases. You know, I was intern at Radio 1 and also had my own radio show on campus with WHBC. And so after I pledged Kappa, my alarm brothers were pressing me. They were like, bro, you need to start DJing, bro. And I was like, I was cool. I had my cane on this side. I had a mic right here. I didn't, you know, but I listened though. I listened and I slowly learned how to DJ. And so after I graduated, the very first opportunity I had to DJ was when I was touring with BT Music Matters and Kendrick Lamar was headlining that tour. And I was the host and the opening DJ for that.
Wow.
So being at Howard prepared me to be the Jae Murphy that you met a few years ago.
Wow, that's
it's all
crazy.
launched and catapulted from Howard, bro. And even as a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, when I was hosting, I was getting invited to host ATL Greek Picnic or go host other step shows at other colleges.
That's crazy. You keep saying that. I didn't know you was on the other side of 1911 either. I mean right year, wrong organization. I definitely didn't know that, you know, because we right there, Alpha chapter, the Mecca, first HBCU chapter right there at the Mecca.
You know, Ted, we're going to have an interesting conversation when I see you.
For real, man. I did not know that either.
Yeah, bro. We got to re-sit down again.
Yeah. We got to chop it up and catch up, bro. Catch up. Let me get through this question. Yes, we definitely go have to catch up. See,
for sure.
Producer, you know, this is a friend, so okay, I'm gonna keep going. Sorry. Producer boss at least is, you know, looking at me like, you know, we're in time, you know. All right, let me see what else I got to ask you, bro. I'm just going to go to this forward question that we kind of, they're presenting the show, right? And they're committed to building a better world where everyone is free to move and pursue their dreams. So what three key tools you've learned in life that led you closer to your dreams?
Number one, don't ever stop dreaming. You know, a lot of times people have limits on their goals and their aspirations and their desires. And if you have a limit, you handicap yourself. So number one, never stop dreaming. Number two, I think motivation comes from within. So sometimes you have to learn to be the player, but also you gotta look in the mirror and also be the coach as well.
Absolutely, bro.
If you don't got that inner fuel, you're not gonna crank up.
Especially in this business, man. Yes.
Definitely. Yes. And number three, the last one, is just humbly always being a student. Yeah. Always being a student. Always be willing to learn. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. And if you're determined to learn, nobody can stop you.
That's real. Whew. Say the word, bro. I definitely believe in all three of those things, man. Definitely those things I live by also, man. So, look, I appreciate you coming on, Jay. We do got a lot to catch up to do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, man. So, I might have to give you an invite to the homecoming festivities this weekend. We're going to talk about that, though.
Yeah. I'm going to text you, bro. So,
all right, bro.
I appreciate you coming on, dog. All right.
Bless.
Thanks. Man, that was great. For each one of our 4 sponsored shows for this season, we'll be highlighting each of the HBCU STEM programs. In each episode, Ford will be presenting a sponsor for the Electrified Future presented by Ford's segment, profiling a student, a professor, some research, or a club lead that is part of the school's STEM community. Innovation is crucial to the continuing success of any organization. The Karsh STEM Scholars Program mission is to increase the number of underrepresented minorities who earn a degree in a STEM discipline. This next clip gives a detailed idea of how the Karsh STEM Scholars Program is pushing the culture forward.
Engineering, architecture, computer science. These are the windows to change and paths to innovation at Howard University.
As a student, you will have the opportunity to study alongside exceptional students from across the United States and around the world.
Rigorous research, creative thinking, and excellent scholarship. These are your tools. Finding solutions that lead to greater productivity and a better way of living for the nation and the global community. These are your contributions. Leadership prep and a solid foundation that will open doors to an exciting and important career are all yours at the Howard University College of Engineering, Architecture, and Computer Sciences.
At Howard University, we produce leaders for America and the global community.
I actually ended up applying to 32 different schools. But when I came to visit this campus, it was love at first sight.
Both of my parents actually went to Howard University, and I was fighting against it because I wanted to be different. But it's no sense in fighting where you actually belong, and I'm very happy that I made the choice to go here.
To choose SEACS at Howard is to choose a challenging and exciting career path where classroom instruction and laboratory experiments pave the way to global travels and multicultural interaction.
Our students travel the world. They participate in our Engineers Without Borders program, where they produce and design sustainable engineering projects for developing countries.
While at Howard, I've led 3 service missions to Kenya with Engineers Without Borders, and I've presented research in Sudan and South Africa.
SEACS students can also take advantage of travel and growth opportunities provided by the Global Education Awareness Research undergraduate program.
In the Philippines, I had the opportunity to enhance the quality of life for people with prosthetic limbs as part of the Global Education Awareness undergraduate research program.
My freshman year, I was accepted into the Gear Up program, which allowed me to do water quality research at the University of Indonesia. And the experience helped me to understand the importance of being a member of the global community as an engineer.
The international experiences that I have had at Howard have positioned me to become a Fulbright Scholar for the 2013-2014 academic school year. I'll be studying architecture and urban design in Medellin, Colombia, South America.
With departments in architecture, chemical engineering, civil and environmental engineering, electrical and computer engineering, mechanical engineering, and systems and computer science, you'll gain the knowledge and the experience that sets you apart.
Howard brings in a myriad of companies from Microsoft to Exxon to Google on a daily basis.
Our students learn to find technological and scientific solutions to complex and challenging problems. They engage in teamwork, critical thinking, and leadership.
I led a team of Howard University engineering students to a rural village in Kenya where we focused on providing clean water solutions to improve health and the quality of life.
I recently completed a summer internship at the Boeing Company, and the experience was invaluable. Not only did I gain personal inside industry experience in an area where I could see myself working after graduation, but I also gained a valuable network among these corporations that I can reach out to at any time.
Come and visit us here in the nation's capital and see for yourself.
When you come to Howard, you see the world.
When you come to Howard, you truly see the world.
When you come to Howard, you see the world.
Howard University, educating tomorrow's leaders today.
So look, before I even get to the next segment, I want you guys to write in the comments if I look like some character off Blue's Clues, because that's what I've been getting. Blue's Clues, because that's what they keep clowning me about my shirt. I thought I was fresh to death today, and they clowning me like I look like some cartoon character that I don't even know. All right, let's keep the program going, though. Yes. See, producers back there. That's Elise, man, producer. Putting her on blast. So each year, the CarSTEM Scholars Program attracts hundreds of competitive high school students who are interested in beginning their STEM careers at Howard University. Those selected for the program are awarded a scholarship for tuition, fees, room and board, as well as an allowance for books. Students are also required to pursue a PhD or a combined MD-PhD with the STEM discipline. The program aims to challenge students in a way that prepares them to contribute to a world that is increasingly diverse and global in nature. Since 2017, the CarSTEM Scholars Program has been home to some of the university's most talented students, many of whom excel in STEM-related organizations across the world. we have Executive Director of Howard's CAR STEM Scholars Program, Ron Smith, on the line to shed some light on how the STEM program comes together. Ron, welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
How you doing, my brother? How's it going? Good
Doing great, thanks.
Glad to have you on the show. I'm just going to jump right in it, man. STEM technology. Tell us a little bit about your role as a CAR STEM Scholars Program.
As the executive director of the program, I am responsible for making sure that we are fulfilling the commitment of the program as expressed through the mission. You said it at the top of the introduction, that we are trying to address the underrepresentation of minorities in STEM fields, particularly at the highest levels. We're expecting our students to enter into the professoriate to prepare the next generation of STEM scholars. They will become researchers, policy developers, and leaders in STEM organizations, both governmental and private sector. So it's my job to make sure that students are doing what it is that they've come here for, that they're fulfilling their dreams and aspirations and taking advantage of what we call wraparound services that are designed to try and move the obstacles out of the way of those students who are on this pathway.
That's amazing, and it's definitely something that's needed. I don't think our kids have enough exposure to STEM programs. We're glad you guys, champion that pathway to preparing them for these future endeavors. So, what sets Howard's program, STEM program, apart from other universities?
I think what makes the difference at Howard, because we are actually a replication of the Meyerhoff Scholars Program that exists at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. But I think what makes ours unique is the fact that we're housed at a historically Black college or university, and we have been designed in the tradition of HBCUs, and that is to create an environment and a culture for young people that helps them to value themselves first, and then to be able to express that value and that self-confidence that they develop in our environmental, environmentally intentionally designed programs that we know will allow our students to feel valued and welcomed, and take advantage of their native intelligence to be high achievers.
I tell everyone that, I'm a Jackson State University graduate, right? And they ask me, what was so significant about going to an HBCU, and that nurturing and that family effect where, it's purposeful that, people are giving that type of energy around the students in order to bring them along that pathway and that journey to success is so important. I think that is like across the board with all HBCUs. So that's great, especially with training these top intellectuals in the STEM field, which could be, very challenging and very competitive, right? It's a very competitive industry right now.
It is indeed. And I tell you, one of the things that, one of the conversations that I'm always in with colleagues, particularly colleagues from predominantly white institutions, is that, don't get it wrong. You come to an HBCU and you're going to get the kind of support that you may not get at other institutions, but it's no less rigorous.
Right.
The faculty at Howard University challenges students to think critically and to use their intelligence to rise above the kinds of problems that the academic world can challenge you with in the learning process. So their experience is no less rigorous. It's just that the faculty tend to be much more understanding. You don't have to worry about cultural competency. They understand your journey. They see the value in it, and they're going to provide the support that you need to overcome the obstacles when they lay in your way.
That's amazing. So for the kids out there, for the aspiring STEM kids and maybe interested in all those areas, what does it take to be a part of the program, to be a student of the STEM program at Howard?
Well, we've been fortunate that we are attracting to the CarSTEM Scholars Program what we believe are some of the nation's best prepared high school students, some of the nation's most talented high school students, bar none. So the students that are agreeing to accept our offer to enter into the CarSTEM Scholars Program are students that could have gone literally anywhere in the country.
Wow.
Sometimes when they narrow it down to their final choices, it's between us and an Ivy League, or it's between us and one of the largest state institutions in the country. So we're right up there with Harvard and Yale and Georgetown and Georgia Tech and Stanford when students narrow it down to their final choices. And we've been fortunate that many of them have chosen to come to the CARS program at Howard University.
That's amazing. And speaking of that, let's turn to the student experience. What organic opportunities have you seen that the students tend to love the most about the program once they're there inside and on campus?
There's no question about it. The single most valued experience is that of developing a family-like atmosphere. And we stress the importance of interdependency. When we're very young, we're very dependent on others to do things for us. And then as we get older, we strive towards independence. And once we reach independence, we think we've reached the highest order of conducting our lives. The fact of the matter is, when you reach interdependence, you really maximize and optimize where it is that you need to be in the world. That is the ability to be able to rely on others and others rely on you. Your futures become connected. You look out for them, they look out for you, and all students empowered to succeed. That's a significant difference. That doesn't happen everywhere.
Right.
And it is the focus of our program to build that kind of culture of success.
That's amazing, man. Working together in that strong type of bond, people could help each other even when they're out in the real world, to grow together, and to form those relationships for the rest of their lives. That's super dope, and that's super important, especially for just young black students, so that's amazing.
We're really happy to, mention that we've had our first graduating class this past May.
Amazing.
And up until then, it's been like an experiment. And then you want to see if the experiment has worked. And our students, 5 of them stayed here at Howard. They're pursuing their PhDs. Others of them went on to University of Pennsylvania, NYU, Yale, Boston University, Columbia, FAMU, Stanford University, Meharry, and many of the nation's most highly regarded institutions of higher learning.
Wow, that's amazing. Amazing. Listen, I commend you for the program. Good luck on the future of the program. I'm going to get you one more question before I let you get out of here. So the program is being sponsored and presented by Ford, who's committed to helping build a better world where every person is free to move and pursue their dreams. So along your journey, what are 3 key tools you've learned in life that propelled you closer to your dreams?
Clearly, one of the most important is that I don't care what it is that you're doing, you need to be planful. You've got to have a plan.
Right.
I think we all reach a point in our lives when we have a responsibility to develop a set of what we would consider our core values. And that is those set of guideposts that talk about how you will conduct your life, and they should be immutable. And then finally is to find your purpose. Yep. The most fulfilling lives are those wherein the individuals have found their purpose.
Absolutely. Hey, so Ron, I appreciate your time, man. Good luck. I'm happy about the first graduating class. Hopefully have much more success, and you're creating these pipeline of young STEM students that's going to make change around the globe. So thank you for coming on tonight.
The pleasure is mine. Thanks for having me.
All right. There it is. That's a wrap for the premiere of a second season. Man, we got through that. It's popping. Blue's Clues got through it, yes. Hey, yeah, everybody's laughing. Joke's on me, yes. So if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you, come back, stream with us again on BlackStream Live. It's going to be popping. Great season. Want to give a special thanks to Ford. Ford recognizes the legacy of success and the tremendous roles that HBCUs serve in educating our future generation. They understand. They know what's up. I would like to leave you with the message, a powerful, great message from the late Chadwick Boseman. And listen, I pray that Howard gets through everything they're getting through. I know they've been built on resilience. That's why they've been around with excellence for over 150 years, you know? So I just pray that everything works out over there and we continue to excellence. Thank y'all for tuning in and have a good night.
Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Graduating class, hear me well on this day. When you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education, you would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When I dare to challenge the system that would relegate us to victims and stereotypes with no clear historical backgrounds, no hopes or talents, when I questioned that method of portrayal, a different path opened up for me. The path to my destiny. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. If it's meant for you, I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Now, this is your time. The light of new realization shines on you today. Howard's legacy is not wrapped up in the money that you will make, but the challenges that you choose to confront. As you commit to your past, press on with pride and press on with purpose. God bless you. I love you, Howard. Howard forever.